Hello from Southern Cross Catholic College in Townsville, North Queensland, and I'm Louise Valla-Cox, the principal, and with me is
Stephen Cook, the Curriculum Leader for Information Technology and Design and the ICT teacher for Year 7 to 9.
And welcome. Today we're just going to talk about our context at Southern Cross Catholic College. Certainly we're going to look a little bit about the school background, rollout of the Google Apps for Education and Chromebooks at the school, our whole school approach, ongoing professional development and the use of Chromebooks and the GAF for learning. So Southern Cross is a primary secondary college that was formed in 1998. It's currently a Peer to 9, offering Peer to 9 education and certainly growing to Peer to 12 in 2019. The school is about 19 years old and we've gone to secondary in the last 2 years. So in 2017, we have, next year in 2017, we will have 950 students across primary and secondary from prep to year 10, and around about 130 staff members, of which about 55 are teachers. Now we are committed to embracing real change in the direction the school is taking to implement IT and ICT holistically in a learning and teaching environment here at the college. And we did that, started doing that at the end of 2013, and it's, the momentum has grown because, and we realized the commitment that was required for us to be able to affect this sort of change. And that's what I'm going to talk about just in the next couple of minutes. So as I said, we implemented GAF about 4 years ago. It was a diocesan-wide initiative offered by Townsville Catholic Education Office, and it's something that we embraced. It was up to the schools to embrace it, and we thought that it was the way to go for the future. We decided to take a whole school approach rather than just be a pilot school. And certainly we threw ourselves into the deep end. We recognised that we had an ability to be able to furnish each or every student from years 4 upwards with a device, and Google Chromebooks provided us with a very efficient device and a very affordable device for each of those students. And so all in all, from up until now, we have purchased 600 devices in order for every child in grade 4 to 9 to be able to have their own Chromebooks. And with that are the banking stations in order for the children to have those here at school during the day. So they are theirs from the beginning to the end of school. We've built into our timetable a time for them to be able to bank them back into the cows, the computers on wheels, as we call it, systems, and so that they're ready to go the next morning. We found that to be a very efficient way of ensuring that every child has access to IT across the college, and certainly that that was fair and equitable, regardless of whether or not a child could afford technology or not at their home. We also offer times during school and after school for them to be able to access their devices if they need to. So our ability to furnish each student with a device and time for learning, plus our drive to confidently roll out the project with the support of Townsville Catholic Education Office and our e-learning guides, made the whole project possible. What we found is that we needed to become an agent of change, and that meant that the entire school had to come on board to embrace technology. And that was we believe that is where we're going. It was an expectation, a very clear expectation, that all of our teachers become proficient in Google and the Google suite, including Google Classroom, and that is every teacher in primary and secondary, including specialist teachers. We instill in our staff and students an appreciation of technology, being foundational to lifelong learning, as technology, we think, is a very effective way to teach students how to be lifelong learners. They're so skilled that they will be able to take with them after school. And the whole idea that life and education is constantly changing and pushing us to improve how we learn new things, our technology slots into that very, very well. So we wanted to make sure that our students and staff felt confident and were prepared to use technology competently and efficiently as they continue their education now and when they enter the workforce, which will happen in the next 3 or 4 years. So very soon we will be taking standardised tests online, such as NAPLAN, for example, and so it is important that our students and teachers are prepared for these changes and challenges, because it will affect their lives and the outcomes. The way we did it, and if we went hard at it from probably the beginning of 2015, most certainly. The first stage was actually furnishing everybody with the Google Chromebooks in all of our students. The second part was making sure that we had implemented very effective grassroots professional development across for all staff, including ancillary staff. And so we've built a program into that so that they are as savvy as they need to be in technology. The PD is paid for by the school, and it builds on the premise that we would commit to being a Google school. The expectation is that the change would come from the teaching staff as they became more confident in using devices and the Google Suite, including Google Classroom, to enhance their pedagogy and learning in the classroom. The rollout of the Chromebooks to support the use of Google Apps for Education looks like this at the moment at school. So like I said, every child from year 4 and above has a 1-to-1 ratio. So every child has a Chromebook. Years 2 and 3, we have 10 Chromebooks per class. So that's a 1-to-3 usage, because there's 30 children in each of our classes. That's used in group work and shared to make class sets. So that if we want a 1-to-1 ratio for a short period of time, that is possible. Prep in year 1 have 6 per class, so that's a 1-to-5 ratio, and that's also used in group work within their learning. We designed a plan and budgeted to set up the school and team for success. And like I said, Chromebooks offered the school a relatively inexpensive option for all our students to have a low ratio access to technology. The school made a commitment to purchase Chromebooks for every student, and we have a running commitment with that from now until they get into year 12. We don't at all look for the parents to be able to purchase these. We prefer to be able to use the technology that we see has been very effective, and that is Google Chromebooks. So that's what we would prefer. The condition of the purchase is that the Chromebooks are docked at school, like I said, and that which minimises damage, theft, low battery issues, and condition the student. And we also condition the students about responsible use of technology, as well as responsible ownership of devices. And so this has given us a great opportunity to do that and work with them at their level. Each student has the same device for about 3 years, and the replacement rate is extremely low. And the responsibility is on the parents to replace the device if the child has damaged it in any way. So that has also been very low, and I think conditioning with IT and technology is very, very important. And so we built these expectations into our behaviour support plan for the whole school, and parents sign a sensible use of IT agreement form at the beginning of each year, and we have a general memorandum of understanding between students and staff and families as to how we're going to be using our Chromebooks, which we believe to be a great gift. So creating unconditional expectations that all students should be using Google Chromebooks regularly in some capacity, and that all teaching staff would become a level 1 Google operator starts with me, the principal, works through the leadership team, and definitely trickles down to every person on staff, and especially the teaching team. Rolling out an effective IT team made up of the e-learning guide of teachers, IT school officer, and a staff IT committee, which is a techno committee made up of primary and secondary staff. They work together to provide professional development to staff throughout the year, and this includes things like techie brekkie, staff meeting, demo slams each week, screencastify snippets, email to staff regularly explaining how to complete simple tasks using the Google Suite. They form a support system for our staff at any time they need it. And certainly the whole share factor on the Google Suite is amazing for us and has worked beautifully. So we try and embed the values of the school through collegiality, which is collegiality, and certainly embed that through our staff. So building in of technology across all learning areas in primary and secondary, and the inclusion of the e-learning guide into the school curriculum teams who meet regularly has been gold. So I'm going to hand over to Stephen Cook now to talk a little bit about ongoing professional development and the use of Chromebooks and the Google Apps for Education.
Thanks, Louise. Our ongoing professional development starts off with our e-learning guides, which is a diocesan initiative. The e-learning guide is an initiative from the Townsville Catholic Education Office, whereby one or two people, depending on the school size, are nominated by the principal to represent the school. These people have a sort of a knowledge or an interest in technology, and once a term we go to the Townsville Catholic Education Office and we have a session where we either upskill, we look at planning for the upcoming term, or we just have network meetings to get ideas from what other schools are actually doing. We then take this knowledge that we've learned back to our actual staff, and we try and disseminate this information through the staff so that we can actually provide better learning environments for the children. The ELG can also be released from class to perform a variety of functions around the school. Class visits to assist teachers with technology or programs, assistance with planning or integrating technology into the curriculum, even taking lessons in the classroom to demonstrate new programs or technology in the classroom environment. Basically, jobs that relate to the needs of the school or that the leadership team feels that need to be done. We also look at upskilling our staff on an ongoing basis. We do this via whole college staff meetings dedicated to introducing new technologies and programs. We also have our ELGs teaching members of the Techno Committee or their School Technology Committee, and then they go and teach their fellow teachers in their year level or their departments, and we disseminate the information that way. We also regularly run demo slams at the beginning of our staff meetings, where we have 5 minutes at the beginning of the staff meeting where we introduce new programs or apps that we've found or something that we've used in our classrooms that we feel might benefit the rest of the school, and we show that to the other teachers so they can actually try this in their rooms as well. The last initiative that we run on a regular basis is our Techie Brekkies. Usually this is a once-a-term event. They are voluntary in-services that are held before school. One staff member, either the ELG or the Techno Committee member, runs about a 40 to 60 minute session before school starts. Topics can be staff chosen. We send out a Google form and the staff lets us know areas that they want to actually investigate or learn more information on, or sometimes coming from the committee. We also supply a light breakfast during the in-service, hence the Techie Brekkie. We also have a lot of new staff induction sessions to train into the use of Google Apps for Education that we use around the school. Last year was our first year as a high school, and as such, we had around 15 new teachers join the staff. These teachers came from a lot of different schools and different systems. It was a steep learning curve for some of them who have never worked with Google Apps for Education before, and the dedication of the staff and the commitment to our learning ensure that we continue to use Google Apps effectively for our students' benefits. As the high school section of our college continues to grow, we are running these sessions at the beginning of each year. The staff receive support from the department heads, fellow teachers, and myself as needed. Next year, we're actually looking at adding an initiative of Google Certified Educator Level 1. All of the ELGs or e-learning guides for the Townsville Diocese have a Level 1. What we are currently planning at Southern Cross is to have all of our staff or all of our teachers have a Level 1 by the end of 2017. We've had this discussion with Louise and our leadership team, and they are very committed to having our teachers upskill to this level. We've also had a lot of interest from our school officers who would like to join in the Google certified Level 1 courses that we are going to run. The plan at the moment is that we're going to get two groups, our preps and our Year 6 teachers, and have them work through the online units and run a training session once a week after school to provide any assistance needed. When that group qualifies, we'll then move to our next level, our 1s and our 5s, and we'll run a similar program up in the high school. We also find that when the leadership team of the school are committed to change or new initiatives, it's generally much easier for the staff to get on board. As such, our college leadership team is going to be the first group to undertake the training next year. We already have a Level 1 and a Level 2 certified educator on our college leadership team. Having the leadership team take on this role at the beginning gives the staff the idea that this is an important initiative and that they will usually follow. We teach digital citizenship in our school as well. We ensure that all the staff are aware of the importance and a need to teach digital citizenship to our students. Our digital citizenship awareness and online safety is important to all year levels at our school. We also run a SAM-R model at the school: substitution, augmentation, modification, and redefinition. This model offers a method of seeing how computer technology can impact teaching and learning in the classrooms. Substitution is where we use a computer technology to perform the same tasks as we've done before. Example, printing out a worksheet or handing it in. Augmentation is the next level, where computer technology is used as an effective tool to perform simple tasks. Example, taking a quiz on Google Forms instead of using an old pencil and paper test. Modification is where we step over the line from traditional classrooms to transforming our classroom. Common tasks being implemented through the use of technology like multimodal presentations, where we can write an essay, create an audio recording, put a background track on it, and then present it to an authentic audience like the parents or the administration of the school. And the final step in the SAM-R model is redefinition. The technology allows for new tasks that were inconceivable in the past. Example of creating a class video or documentary, where we break our students into groups or teams and have them research and create a section independently of the other groups. And then we have them collaborate together to produce one final product. The aim of the SAM-R model is to move along the continuum. As we do so, technology becomes more important in the classroom. Across all year levels in the school, there is a progression along our SAM-R continuum. The use of Chromebooks and Google Apps for education and learning. We basically try and enhance our learning and look at our 20th century schools. We use our Google Apps for education and our Chromebooks to enhance and develop these skills through collaboration, critical thinking, and problem solving with the students. We also integrate our ICT general capabilities across the learning areas. We make sure that we have integrated these ICT capabilities into our unit outlines across all subject areas. And our use of Chromebooks and having our one-to-one with our year 4 to 9s makes this really effective. Google Apps for education features that we use commonly in the school are the commenting or suggesting, sharing of documents and collaboration, research tools within Google Docs for easy research and referencing, and add-ons like Lucidchart for mind mapping. Also, our Japanese students use the translate functions quite often. Google Apps that we use throughout the school. Some of the main apps that we use are Google Docs, Sheets, Slides, and Draw. We also use other apps like Padlet, which is our collaborative bulletin board. Our secondary students use Gmail on a daily basis to communicate with their teachers. Secondary students also take advantage of our Google Calendar to remain up to date with the school events and goings-on. Google Classroom in our college has had a huge uptake in the last few years. In the past, primary teachers and the year levels used to create a Google site that allows students to access assignments and handouts. Since the implementation of Google Classroom, our Google sites are still maintained to allow parental access to information on class and year level activities, but day-to-day activities in the classroom have been moved to our Google Classrooms. In our secondary college, we have used Google Classrooms from day one last year as a means of allowing students to access handouts, assignments, slide presentations, and actual assigning assignments so that we can electronically hand them in. Google Classroom is easy to use, having students join as a very simple process. The classroom allows students to comment and discuss with each other, whether at school or at home. It emails the students to notify them every time that our teachers have posted something, allowing them to get up-to-date information on their courses and subjects. It also allows for easy emailing from the teacher's perspective to individual students or the whole class. The most valuable asset we find with Google Classroom is the assigning of assignments. It's an excellent way to allow easy access to the students' work so we can check on progress and conferences with the students and provide feedback at any time of the day or night. The following slides are just a few examples of the students' work. Our Year 6 Asian Expo, where our students have used their Chromebooks to research an Asian country using Google Docs and then publish their presentation in a Google presentation. Our Year 3 students collect and represent data using some Google Sheets. Our Year 2s using Google Draw. We use our comments for feedback, so many classes use the comment and suggestion feature to give feedback to our students. Our year 2s use Google Map Engine to plot different places around the world. Our year 1s are doing a little bit of stop motion, using Google Slide to create their video. Our secondary students using Google spreadsheets to graph information collected during science experiments. And our teachers who use Google Classroom to share information and actually access and hand out student assignments.
Okay, so something that I always say is my biggest piece of advice, and what I hope will be take away from our session, is to be unafraid of change and to adopt the role of change agent when it comes to IT. And I believe that you can lead the charge, even and maybe especially if you feel the fear. And there's been plenty of that, but we've jumped in anyway, and and we know that it's been a fabulous experience. So from here, Stephen and I will respond to any emails that we have received and continue to do so until we've answered most of them. So thank you very much for listening.
Thank you very much.